So we head into our second of 5 finals this afternoon, and it's the turn of Micromax. As it looks like, Matthijs Piesens is trying to get underway. Let's have a look at the final grid for them for this weekend. So, after the earlier race, Stig de Rademaker in the 79 will start from pole position. Laurens de Kock will be alongside in the number 27, so all Belgian front row. Big van Kampenhout in P3 with the number 24 entry, and alongside will be the number 30, Boris Maximov. Tom Pappenberg in the number 48 will start in 5th place. So obviously post-race he was deemed to have caused a collision, so that meant that Maximov would take. So effectively Pappenberg has to finish ahead of Maximov to take the ticket for Le Mans. Moonen in 6th, Matthijs Piesens getting going in 8th place in the number 99. So 13 minutes plus an additional lap to go, and it looks like Matthijs Piesens is having some difficulties with the kart from a technical perspective, as we are heading on to the official formation lap here at the circuit. They're starting to get into formation. Oh, and there's dramas for the number 12. Lucas Tordeur has just had a moment and is trying to get that kart back up and running, but I don't think that's going to happen because we are about to take the start very, very shortly. So Lucas Tordeur's final get. This is Matthijs Piesens. Piesens spinning, going into the final sector. So the top 6 make their way through into the tram lines. Are we going to get going because the revs have risen? And looks like we've got a good 24 victory, as it looks like. Oh, and there's been a little bit of a touch, and again Boris Maximov has been involved, whether it's unwilling or willing. So that has really changed things. So now Tom Pappenberg has the initial advantage over the number 30. So effectively Matthijs Piesens has managed to get going. Lucas Tordeur has not even gotten to the start phase of the race and had technical dramas before we'd even gotten going. So a real shame from the number 12 from Belgium. So this is where things get rather dicey, because now we've got an opportunity for Tom as mine. What is going to happen over the next few moments? Well, that makes it 11 minutes plus 11 minutes and 43 seconds. Plus a crown off the weekend in style. He's got up the inside of de Rademaker, but de Rademaker uses the outside line pretty much perfectly there to get through, and in that respect manages to get the job done and stay ahead for the minute. So now it's about how Pappenberg responds. Laurens de Kock is in at this moment in time, because now they will have an opportunity to move up the order. And this is where Tom Pappenberg becomes effectively the meat in the sandwich, so to speak. Pappenberg has got the lead. So good job from him to get there, and leads the way as we head into the last 10 minutes and 20 seconds. So now the drivers will be pushing like crazy, because the Rademacher will not want to let that one lie by any stretch of the imagination. So he leads. Top three were covered by just under 7.5 tenths of a second last time out, as they had completed 3 laps of racing. So this is where things get rather interesting for these drivers, because they've got to keep on pushing. But Tom Pappenberg has started to pull away, and pull away convincingly. Now, this means that these two here, as all, there's a little bit of a run wide by Stig de Rademacher. Lorenz de Kock managed to get through and get past for position. And that now means that these two are going to be battling away. De Rademacher back up the inside through turn number 1 and gets past nice and cleanly. But they are swapping positions more times than I've had hot dinners, and effectively that means that these two will not back down from each other. They're battling for position, and also battling for a bit of pride and a bit of bragging rights here as well. So effectively, from what they end up doing at the end of this, your guess is as good as mine, because now Tom Pappenberg leads the way and had a 1.5 second advantage last time around. That could be very well extended, because the way that de Kock and Rademacher, as Rademacher spins it, oh my goodness, and that allows Boris Maximov to get into 3rd place, and here comes Jente Moonen. But then de Rademacher quickly gets hustling that cart back onto the right direction here at the tarmac on the circuit. And now what that means is that de Rademacher has just thrown away a potential 2nd place finish in this race. So just over a minute away from the halfway point of the final. So when we hit 6.5 minutes, we'll be halfway down, halfway to go. So it's a real shame for Stig de Rademacher for dropping the ball, so to speak, on that particular occasion. Well, he actually dropped the throttle a little bit too much, I believe. But you can just see how, even on these inclement weather conditions, that the minute you get a bit of a myriad of dry and wet weather conditions intermixed on the circuit, it can cause a problem. I have seen that many a time here, not just on the BNL karting series, but also through a multitude of the championships that I have commentated on, including the Euro Trophy, and also at Rotax Germany as well. There's another spinner, and that is Matthias Piesens in the 99, who's having to wait an eternity as Vic van Kampenhout manages to get past. So Matthias Piesens, have to give credit to the number 99 for continuing to press on and not look back. So 6 minutes and 15 seconds still to go. And The driver's still pushing on. Tom Pappenberg has got the fastest lap of the race in his pocket. And that is a 1 minute 18.861 second lap time. So Pappenberg will probably be realising now. Won't realise it fully until it sinks in after he crosses the line. Very, very soon indeed, because Pappenberg has made it work. Okay, granted, Maximov was effectively... Hang on a second, what were my calculations earlier? So it's 61 to 53. I'm looking at this now, and effectively, if Pappenberg wins, that's 86 points. Boris Maximov, if he takes third, that's 69 points. So that would effectively be game over, because that's 8 points coming into this particular race. If it was the other way around, it might be a different 7. It's perspectives. You can see that either way, if one of these drivers hadn't was not on course to winning the race, it's going to be a tall order for the other ones to catch up. You can see here now, there is Maximov, and he's battling away with the now recovering Stig de Rademaker in the number 79. And this is for third on the road. That in the number 79, and effectively of an international trophy ticket, because effectively Tom Pappenberg is that close to winning the weekend in about 3.5 minutes plus an additional lap. So give that about the best part of about 5 minutes. You'll effectively see that Pappenberg will have secured that place. And Pappenberg's lead over Lorenzo de Kock is now approaching the best part of nearly 7 seconds. Boris Maximov is fast finding the weekend, is running away the way that things are now. I mean, effectively, that if Tom Pappenberg was in fourth and Boris Maximov had won the race, that would have been a 4-point victory had that happened. Because effectively it's 13 points for fourth place. We head into the last 2 minutes plus an additional lap of this race weekend, and there is your race leader, Tom Pappenberg. He took pole position yesterday, and he went on to win both races. And amidst the myriad of difficult conditions, obviously what happened in the pre-final, well, that's now past tense. We're looking at now, and what is looking rather bright in this young driver's future, because to have the opportunity to race at the Circuit Alain Prost, Le Mans Karting International Circuit, based just outside of Circuit de la Sarthe, the home of the 24 Heures du Mans in Pays de la Loire. It's going to be an opportunity and a half, because now, with 1 minute and 5 seconds remaining. We head on to the penultimate lap of this race. Tom Pappenberg has been running consistently in the low to mid lower half of the top of the 1 minute 18s. He's now just put in a 1 minute 17.5 as he heads through into the far part of the circuit, through 5 into 6, taking a wider line, using the momentum carry through the corner, through into this nice little bit here, into the next left-hander, or another left-hander greets him, decides not to use the curb there, and brings the car wide to the right, or going through into the chicane. Time is now pretty much expired. It hits 0 on the clock. Final lap board will be out this time, and it's looking to be a perfect day. Well, it hasn't been a perfect weekend for this driver, but Tom Pappenberg is on course to taking his 3rd victory out of 4 this weekend here at Karting d'Espagne. Smooth, consistent, competent driving skills here by the number 48. Boris Maximov gave Pappenberg something to think about in the dry yesterday, but Maximov's weekend has tumbled south rather quickly here today on day 2 of the 2nd round of the championship. As after today's racing action, we'll be 2/3 down in the championship, and we'll have the final third, the last round of the season at Karting Genk between the 9th and the 10th of October later on this year. But just a handful of corners to remain for the number 48. Tom Pappenberg is now realising it's sinking in. He knows he's got the job done. And the celebration is going to be something to witness, I would be sure of, as out of the chicane, he's got 3 from 4 victories, and he's already started celebrating. Tom Pappenberg from the Netherlands books his place at the Rotax Max Challenge International Trophy at Le Mans in later on this month, the 27th to the 31st of July. Well done to Laurens de Kock, who took 2nd at the end of that race, 8.5 seconds behind eventual weekend winner Tom Pappenberg. Vic van Kampenhout takes P3 ahead of Stig de Rademacher. Boris Maximov takes P5. Jent Thimoonen finishes in 6th and is the last of the 6 drivers that completed the 11 laps of racing. Matthias Piessens out on lap number 5, and Lucas Stodder's race didn't even get going before it even really truly got started. But there you have it. Tom Pappenberg, your provisionally confirmed weekend winner here in Micromax, and he heads to Le Mans in late July.